Yields back. I will recognize myself for 5 minutes. Thank you to our witnesses for being here today as we address the greatest threat to America's national security, the Chinese Communist Party. The CCP will stop at nothing to infiltrate American supply chains and gain insight into our most critical military operations and homeland security practices. Over the past few years, we have witnessed President Xi increased aggression within America's borders, buying up farmland, spying on us with high-altitude surveillance balloons, operating illegal Chinese police stations, and stealing valuable intellectual property. The threat posed by the CCP extends far beyond the confines of any single industry or entity, with an ultimate goal of entwining themselves into every aspect of our economy, society, and governance, a threat I'm seeing firsthand in my district. Our nation's greatest adversary is currently setting up shop in Johnson County, Kansas, under the guise of Nanotechnology USA, a Chinese-backed manufacturer firm with alarming ties to CCP military and intelligence services. This new manufacturing facility is just 34 miles away from Fort Leavenworth, 72 miles from Whiteman Air Force Base, 105 miles from Fort Riley, and 165 miles from McConnell Air Force Base. Allowing Nano USA to operate near these significant military installations and become embedded in our local supply chains opens the door to Chinese espionage and puts our military intelligence, trade, research, and intellectual property at risk of falling into the hands of the CCP leaders. Make no mistake, Nano USA is a wolf in sheep's clothing and poses a clear threat to the United States and to the state of Kansas. In January of this year, I wrote to Secretary Yellen and Secretary Austin, urging them as members of the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States to open an immediate investigation into Nano USA. After the Biden administration refused to act, I urged the Kansas legislature to pass common sense solutions to ensure we have tools at our disposal to protect Kansas from CCP infiltration. As President Xi and the CCP continue to target American communities, it's more important than ever that we work to stop Chinese-backed businesses from exploiting our supply chains and gaining access to our crucial military bases across the country. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses today. Mr. Mattis, Nanotechnology USA is a subsidiary of Nano Jiangsu. Nano Jiangsu has repeatedly received funding from the CCP for participation in state initiatives, including in the CCP's 863 program. Can you explain what the CCP's 863 program was and the purpose of it and other similar programs?
So the 863 program is named after the date that it was launched, which is March 1986. And it is essentially a state investment vehicle to channel funding for national defense modernization and civilian technologies that would facilitate that. And although they have changed the name, I think at least twice over the years and come up with related programs, it still retains that focus on military modernization.
Let me stay with you. Nano Jiangsu has also cooperated in the past with the CCP's United Front Work Department. And the United Front is actively engaged in political warfare in the U.S. Could you explain how the United Front might use a U.S. subsidiary of a Chinese entity to conduct non-kinetic warfare tactics such as economic warfare?
So the United Front, there could very well be in the Chinese, sort of the Chinese parent company, a party committee that has a United Front Work Department attached to it and works through that company. It would largely be involved in sort of mobilizing the employees of that company and channeling their efforts to support the party's apparatus. The most likely way that it would be involved in any form of intellectual property theft and economic espionage would be in providing tips and leads to essentially the Ministry of State Security or the local state security department of Jiangsu province.
So here we have a company that's received money from the 863 program and is engaged with the United Front in the past. Should we believe that a U.S. subsidiary of a PRC company is completely divorced from its PRC base umbrella?
It's possible, but I think when you look at the way in which U.S. media has reported on the supposed division between ByteDance and TikTok, that TikTok has not operated as though it were a separate company, but rather as a constituent part of ByteDance, with ByteDance employees exercising authorities there. There are reasons to have those similar concerns with AVIC and its subsidiaries in the United States, one of the Chinese, the PRC's sort of major military aircraft manufacturers. So I'm not sure of any company that I know has been very closely tied to the party state and its objectives that you can separate off, and I'm not sure that many of the U.S. employees understand what that relationship is.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and thank you to all the witnesses.